Life is full of mystery in the paranormal, especially doors that are open as anything can come through. Best to avoid the bad ones after the experience or try to fix the situation, as some dark spirits will seek to ruin you in whatever way. In 2007, I joined the active army while the troop surge was going on. Lucky me, I got to be stationed in Katterbach, Germany, in which I didn't know a few months later they were going to deploy. There were two sides on the base, the old side and the new side, and they were both opposite of each other, but across the street. The new side was everything being remodeled and just looked nicer. The old side barracks had 4 floors and I was on the 3rd with one older roommate. Outside of the barracks, Germany was, and probably still is, fun, but you had to be on your behavior. A few soldiers I became friends with lived on the old side too. Showing me around the barracks, the specialist showed me and another person the lower part front doors. We stayed on top of the stairs and it was pure dark that even light would barely help. Telling us this base used to be one of Hitler's bases in World War II with long tunnels underground. I could see chains and a lock on a door. There is a rule: if you ever experience anything paranormal, tell only certain people you trust that also believe or have seen, as it was a rule just like some other professions. Each floor had its public bathroom and showers, and my room was on the 2nd floor with my older roommate. My bed was horizontal on the right side, so my head was to the very right side and my feet were facing to the left. That will come into play soon. Now the fun part, as I would have been happy to never experience this. Each spirit or paranormal situations leaves a scar on you that you will remember. I was hanging out with others on one of the weekend days as we didn't go out. My roommate was gone that weekend, so I was happy to know I had the room to myself. Later that night after I left, I walked into my room as I always had that time to relax. Except this time, right when I walked inside, it just felt unwelcoming. It was a strong energy I never felt before. I was up for a little bit, so the time I went to bed was 1 in the morning. Around 4 to 5 in the morning was a normal time to go to sleep for me. I hit the lights and lay down. Not even a minute passed and I felt the energy off again. It became stronger, so I looked around in the dark. On the opposite side of me were 2 dark, like human figures of nothing, but just black mass. To the left was a shorter, super skinny mass, and the other seemed to be near 7 feet and much wider. They were solid mass and stood together. I jumped up and turned on the light very fast. Breathing heavy while questioning myself, I asked myself if I saw this, then reassuring myself my eyes were adjusting to the dark, so it was probably nothing. I'm a skeptic at heart, always jumping to conclusions as I believe in the paranormal. However, I just always needed solid evidence. Shrugging it off, I went back to bed alone in that room. Again, not even a minute passed and it happened again. This time they were much closer to me. The skinny one had its knees placed on each side of my waist, raising its arms and its hands/fingers moving as if it seemed like it was going to do something to me. To my right of the bed, in the dark, the wide 7-foot black mass kneeled on my waist side position. I was frightened and I had to do something. But what? Better to try to do something than nothing, so I swatted both of my arms, jumping up and running to the light. After that, I did leave the light on any time I was alone. I wondered if I would ever see it again, or was this the only time? There were a few times while walking to the bathroom in the hallway, I would see a black ball mass go from the ceiling through the floor. I didn't pay attention to it as I felt if I would react to it, that they would come back. I felt such strong, negative energy, and I hope I never feel that again.